I am Selma Engel. Wijsberg was my maiden name. I was born on the 15th of May in a small town, Groningen, Netherlands. I was the youngest of four and the only daughter. My family had left Groningen a few years later for a town by the name of Zwolle. My parents owned a hotel, very popular to the Jewish businessmen. Although I was Dutch, my family celebrated Jewish tradition. My mother was very religious. I went to school until the Germans had invaded Holland in 1940. I was not even 18 years of age. I was able to finish high school, but after that, I was no longer allowed to attend school. I wasn't allowed to do anything. May 10th, 1940, the war broke out in Holland. The Germans came. Felt like the war was only 5 days. I was nervous. We had a lot of Jewish people in the hotel. Everyone panicked. We could hear the sound of Germans. They didn't start right away. They did it very slowly. We had a lot of traitors. It didn't take very long. There was a little boy, last name Wijsberg. He was Jewish. We went over to the Catholic religion, me, my mother, and my brothers. They picked the little boy up. They picked all the people up who went over to the Catholic religion. They picked up my mother and my two brothers and me. They took us to the German border. I was taken by mistake. I am not Jewish, I am Dutch. The last name of that boy, Wijsberg. He was Jewish. We were not. I was taken by mistake. But they had already sent us. We went to Enschede. It was on the German border. The Dutch Jewish organization was there. They worked very effectively and eventually got us back to Zwolle, where we had lived. It was 1941. My father died. Heart attack. I remember at this time I was not allowed to do anything, and the men were being sent away to work camps. I knew this was now real. I knew I would be sent away and not come back. One of my brothers was hidden. Recently married, and her father had been sent away. My brother was scared, and he was in hiding. He was told to come out of the hiding place. He listened. He didn't want to be taken away to the camp, but he had to. I had talked to a Catholic priest that evening. He had asked me, "How can you save your life?" I said that I needed to be taken in by a not Jewish. That same evening, the priest came and told me he had found a house for me. Very early the next morning, I packed up my bicycle and said goodbye to my mother and my brothers. I never saw them again. I went to live with a nurse. I stayed at her house for a few months. I had stayed with 3 families. 3 months of being alone in a locked-up house, the police had come. I thought I was safe. But there was a family of traitors hidden there that I did not know of. I didn't know they were there. 28 Jews were then caught. Nothing happened to the people hidden in that house where I was. The Germans would usually take the whole family. I had to talk to the police. They wanted to know where I was hidden. I couldn't tell them. There was another family there. That evening, I went back. They came. They found the food I was feeding to the Jews. I had to go back to the police station. After a week in Utrecht, I went from there to Amsterdam, where I sat in jail for 3 months. I don't remember how I got there, but from there I was sent to a concentration camp in Holland. Only woman. Everyone was unhappy. We were soon sent to Westerbork on the train, 3 months long, and I didn't eat much. Westerbork was safe. It wasn't a concentration camp. You were able to stay there, and you were safe. But I was being punished because I was in hiding, and I couldn't stay. 1943. I was deported to the Sobibor death camp. I went 3 days to Sobibor. That train ride. It stopped often. Everyone trying to look out the little window at the top of the freight car. When the train stopped, the Germans were shooting at us. 3 days had passed. I thought we were in Russia. People looked so poor, I was unsure of where we were. I read the sign, Sobibor. The place looked nice, little windows and flowers. Then, they opened these big doors. All I heard was screaming. The Germans started hitting us with whips. I was one of the few people kept alive to work in the death camp. My first night there, I could smell the awful stench of burning flesh. I wasn't sure what fire meant. Some man explained it to me. Many people were forced onto a trolley, right from the train. Children, separated from their parents. That trolley was headed for the gas chambers. Months later, after being in the camp, I met a man, Chaim. He is now my husband. He had asked me to dance. That's how we met. We were forced to dance in couples. We both looked terrible. Chaim had a girlfriend, Esther. She was jealous that Chaim had fallen in love with me. Soon, I got sick. I had typhus. I don't remember what happened during this time. I was scared. I thought I was going to be sent to the gas chamber. People who were sick were sent there. Chaim and the girls I had become close with covered for me, especially the one day I had stayed in the barrack. No toilet, the mice. Chaim would take me to the bathroom and take care of me. He brought me food, I think. I don't remember. I was sick, very sick, but I still had to work. I remember there were several times where I thought I was being sent to the gas chambers. I could hear the screaming and the shooting. There were several transports. I was not chosen. There were times when I would see Chaim and I would smile, and so would he. We were happy we were both still alive. I had hoped to return home soon. I remember. I was running. Chaim taking my hand. SS officers being killed. I could hear the gunshots. I kept running. We were with several Jews. We finally met up with the farmer, and we stayed there until liberation.